Hello, my name is Kevin Boyle. I am the author of a book entitled Hit It With a Bigger Hammer that explains why it is impossible for policing to prevent crime. Society is unwitting of this and continues to rely on policing as its sole purveyor of expert crime prevention method and advice. But more importantly, the book also proposes its solution. I have named my solution the responsibility contract. It is proposed to renegotiate the existing social contract that provides policing responsibility for crime prevention, with society reclaiming that responsibility in collaboration with policing. The responsibility contract breaks the criminal code of silence around offending, allowing for its successful intervention and prevention at its source. Leading law enforcement agencies globally, including the FBI and CIA in America, have tried but failed to break the criminal code of silence. And there is a very good reason for this. It is because the code of silence is caused by law enforcement, or more accurately, the punitive consequence attached to reporting offending to law enforcement. Policing cannot be the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff, as well as the fence at the top. They are opposing ideologies requiring different elements that can't be performed together. They seek opposing outcomes, one to detect and prosecute crime, and the other to prevent it. But the responsibility contract holistically embraces all criminal offending and threats, from schoolyard bullying to terrorism. It substitutes enforcement with prevention as a first response to offending. It overcomes the code of silence that protects offenders who can no longer discourage informers with intimidatory threat. It erases the social stigma of being identified as a narc or whistleblower. The responsibility contract provides direct access to the coalface knowledge of offending needed to prevent crime. I won't go into how I discovered and researched policing's inability to prevent crime. It is all explained in my book and in my videos linked to my website. It began from a policing and private security management background in commerce, where the obvious lack of prevention outcomes culminated in my challenging the method and founding this solution to save the company it was employed in multi-millions of dollars over a 5-year period. What I want to focus on here is how the responsibility contract can now be adopted by society to provide safer and healthier workplaces and sporting environments. I had no idea when I founded this solution that it would have the potential to prevent every threat of offending at every level of any organisation or entity. But this is a logical conclusion because it remedies an international failed best practice. If you were a manager in the private or public sector, or an administrator in sport frustrated by ongoing offending in your organisation, or you were an athlete or an employee who was disadvantaged by others offending, or you are at risk of being drawn into corruption, you can prevent it by adopting this solution rather than being potentially criminalised by the existing best practice. This solution belongs to you, and it cannot be implemented without your belief and your agreement. This is your opportunity to show intolerance of offending in a tangible way, and not just leave it to our lawmakers and business leaders, who themselves are not immune from offending. It can be introduced by them or by you telling your employer that you want to adopt the responsibility contract to protect yourselves in your workplace. The responsibility contract can be incorporated into any employment contract governing agreed conditions between an employer and employee. Intolerance of offending in the workplace would naturally flow into the public domain to help prevent drink and drug driving, social welfare abuse, family violence, and schoolyard bullying, where the contract could equally be embraced. I cannot do this alone. All I can do is expose the problem and propose its remedy. You can start by liking and sharing this on all social media platforms, or by contacting me through my website, or email me at kevinboyle@outlook.co.nz. Thank you for listening.